All right, welcome back. We now have a special guest who's visiting in Belize. She's a life coach. She's a motivational speaker. She's a qualified RN, but she has not just been a nurse, but she has been an administrator. She has been working in this field for some time. But I'm inspired by Miss Shannon and Miss Shannon Jackson, and so I'd like to introduce her now and welcome her to the show. Welcome.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here with you.
Yes, yes. I'm full up already with all that you told us before we turn on the mic. But I still want to share with our audience something about you. So let's start with, where are you from?
First of all, I'm originally from Compton, California, United States.
All right.
Born and rose. Yes, as they call it, the hood or the ghetto, or whatever you want to know it as around the world, but that's where I'm from.
Good things come.
And absolutely, absolutely. And when we talk a little bit about the lotus flower, I'll tie that in. Right. And I'm here, and I'm honored to be here, that Dr. Carol Barb, who's a beautiful lady inside and out, and her peace work, Belize, is what brought me here today. Okay. And to be among Belize for the first time, so I'm a first visitor as well. And as you know, she is all about financial literacy and entrepreneurial, and the great work that she's doing. Yeah. And I'm here to work with her in supporting the high schools. And my goal over these next 2 days is to bless 40 students with $50 to start a savings account in order to help them reach financial literacy education by depositing into them, as well as to motivate them and just encourage them and give them wellness books to talk about the importance of having wellness starting early.
Okay, that sounds like you got a lot.
I got a jam-packed schedule while I'm here.
So. Well, let's start with the $50 deposit for each child.
Yes.
I like that idea. To get children started with
Absolutely.
that. What is the objective there? To teach them how to save?
How to save money.
Yeah. Okay.
How to save money.
Is that through a credit union or
It's going to be Dr. Carol, so I'm gifting it on behalf of the People's Nurse.
So you're the one making the money
I'm actually
available.
Giving the financial money.
That's
and
great.
Dr.
And that's
Carol,
for 50 children, you said?
40 children will each get $50.
$50, okay.
And then we have the wellness journals that we're passing out to a bunch. I think we got over 200 journals, and then we got
These are your journals?
These are my custom-made journals that we'll talk about today here that we want to give out about self-care. Right. But in terms of the money, it's to help them understand planting the seed of how to become financially stable. Oftentimes, many of the kids today, and I'm sure it's no different in Belize, you give them something, they spend it right away. Yeah. They don't recognize the value of money or how to manage money. You know, and many people, it's not always how much you make, it's how you manage your money. Right. I know a whole lot of broke rich people. Does that make any sense? Broke rich people. In other words, they live a rich lifestyle on the outside and different things, and yet they are financially drained. And you hear about it when they die.
They're not literate. Yeah.
They're not literate in it because we don't understand how to manage money. So I applaud Dr. Barb for what she's doing to teach them how to manage money, not just get whatever you get and spend it all. So in order to help in that effort, I wanted to be a blessing in that, because it's also part of my outreach ministry, which is called Street Love.
All right. Well, that's a good thing. We're glad that that's happening, and we give respect to Dr. Carol Barb for that.
Yes.
Now tell me about your program in Compton.
So in Compton, first of all, I'm a motivational speaker and certified nurse coach and life coach. And what I do through my platform is not only motivating people, but we also provide health and wellness coaching. And in the community, health and wellness materials, from wellness boxes where it has this in it, blood pressure machines, thermometers, meditation, mindful cards to teach people how the importance about mental health and having affirmations and meditation and centering yourself, to knowing your ranges on blood pressure, to kits in terms of emergency kits, Band-Aids, and different things like that. So there's a wealth of things that we give
So
them.
this is am I hearing that you're giving them a kit that contains?
It's a wellness box, absolutely. A complete wellness box
And
that
in
I designed and custom made.
And in that is monitors, glucose,
all of those things, including the wellness journal.
How much does that package cost?
If you were to go and, if I was to go and sell that package, anywhere it could be from $50 to $60.
Wow.
Because I get both.
So are you a wealthy person, Nurse Jackson? I mean,
I am wealthy.
You're giving money here for Belize. Now
I am financially stable, but I'm wealthy in heart and knowledge. And when you are stable and you are good, you can then impart into other people.
That's so great.
My mission in this chapter of my life, because I've done everything I needed to do, is to reach back and impart. So I'm living within my calling and my purpose. And because of the pandemic, let me fast forward how this all came about, if you don't mind, for a minute.
Of course.
So when the pandemic hit, and New York was the epicenter in the States. You guys, I'm sure you heard about that.
Yes, we saw all these bodies that were
falling everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, the governor called for nurses everywhere to come and help them, no matter where you are. I live in California. I left California and went and worked in the ICUs in New York for 2 months. And that came out COVID negative, never had anything.
Incredible.
There were 1,100 ICU beds. We didn't have 1,100 ICU beds, but there were bodies that needed them. Dead bodies all over the place. My orientation to New York was thank you, keep them alive. That was it. But within that experience, one of the things that I already knew, but a passion burned within me, was the importance of self-care and wellness. The pre-existing conditions of diabetes, hypertension, comorbidities had a tremendous impact on the mortality of people that fell to COVID.
So
that is fact.
They were dying because a
lot of them had pre-existing conditions.
They were already dying.
The healthier you were, your body was, if you contracted this disease, the outcomes would be more favorable because you can come through it. Not that you couldn't catch it, but if you had diabetes, chronic diabetes, uncontrolled, hypertension, uncontrolled, pre-existing cardiac conditions, and all these different things, the likelihood of you coming out was more slimmer. You understand? So when I came back, I had this aha moment that I need to do more. And it started in my own city, where we went out into the communities, and I came up with this title called Street Love. Meaning I got love for the streets. I got love for my community, my urban communities, my underdeserved communities, my ghettos, my hoods. And I want to give back to those communities. And it started with us doing infection control, masks, hand sanitizers, educating about COVID, to making full wellness boxes, to having a customized wellness journal.
Wow. You really put some work in there.
That will help you guide to be more healthier. And it focuses not just on your physical health, but also on mental and self-care, which are key things to have us have a balance. During my making of this, my own mother had died of COVID in July, that same year of 2020. So it was like, I now have to make sure I spread it wherever way I can. So from city to city, country to country, I'm on a mission to educate, to motivate people to live their life without limits. And that means taking the limits off ourselves, loving on ourselves, understanding you matter, and also being healthy with it.
Was this something that started after COVID, or were you a life coach before?
I was a certified life coach before. I was in school for my national certification for nurse coaching, which I graduated during all that time, finished it. There's a board exam you have to take. But the passion to help people was always there.
Okay, had to have been.
It was always there.
This doesn't sound like something that started 2 years ago.
I'm 30 years in this game, when I was a pretty young thing back then. But the passion to help people has always been there. But now with the experience and the tools and the knowledge encompassing that, I think I'm a force to be reckoned with because I can do it with such more vigor and the education and be astute about it.
Yes, indeed.
And navigate
indeed,
with this.
Indeed. And how long will you be here and where?
Just for a couple of days.
Just a couple of days.
Just a couple of days.
So you really, most of the time
I
you'll be in
came on a mission.
Yeah.
This is not a pleasure trip. I'm jam-packed. I just left one station, then I'm here at yours. We're gonna go to 3 schools today,
Wow.
and then I have another school on tomorrow. So I came purposely to be a blessing.
Yes, well,
And an inspiration.
you
That was my mission. Next time I'm gonna come and really enjoy
and
your
hang out
country.
a little bit. Our numbers here is 222-4299 and 280-4299. I have a co-host that you may not know that he's there, but David Almandars is somewhere there in cyberspace.
Okay.
Yes, I'm right here. I'm listening.
All right. Any kind of questions? Because we got about 10 minutes more left with Nurse Shannon. And if there are any questions that anyone would like to ask, please do. I would like to go back to this idea, which I think is a great idea. I want to congratulate Dr. Bob for
It's
it.
wonderful.
This idea of encouraging children to do spending.
Yes.
I'm sorry, do savings.
Savings, yes.
You know what it takes me back to? Something that I saw that the United States used to do many, many, many years ago, and I said, wow, maybe we could do this in Belize.
What was that?
What they used to do, and you probably will remember.
Because I may have done it.
It may be
Yes,
before your time.
yeah.
I don't think you're old enough. But what America used to do is they used to have these cards, and they would encourage the children to bring a shilling a day. Of course, they call it a quarter.
Yeah.
And you
The
used
little-
to
yeah.
bring your quarter, and then they
I
give you
remember.
put it in this.
Yeah, I remember.
All
No,
right.
I remember. Yeah,
Right?
to
And
have a savings.
Yeah, and I think it came up to like 150
Yes,
or something. And then when
yes.
you did that, then they deposited that.
Absolutely.
And it started the child at a very young age to learn how to save.
Absolutely.
So when Dr. Bob started this, and this is not new, she's been into this financial literacy for some time. It's a very important, as you know.
Yes.
As soon as money hit our hand, we spend
it's
it.
gone. It's gone.
And then we end up in the lurch, begging people and putting.
Exactly.
When we could have learned from early
Exactly.
how to save a little
How to
something,
save.
right?
Yeah.
I grew up with a family that used to take 50 cents and send me to the credit union to put it in the credit union. 50 cents.
Yes, yeah.
$1.
Yeah.
So we have lost that, and to hear that Dr. Bob, and in partnership with you, you're trying
Absolutely.
to reintroduce that.
Absolutely.
Big respect to you for that. 'Cause
Yes, thank you so much.
That's
And
a
it's
missing
really,
link for us.
I love what she's doing, and it, like I said, aligns with my mission here, and it all fits together. Because when you are financially whole,
Yes.
it helps your mental, it helps your physical. Am I right about it?
Absolutely.
What are one of the first things, you know what they say in relationships? The number one thing that impacts a relationship is money.
That's a
they
fact.
argue about money
Yes.
before extramarital affairs.
Yes, yes.
And you,
but
as a-
extramarital affairs close behind.
close behind,
All right.
a close second.
Yeah.
But money will kill anything. Businesses, families, that amount of stress on the physical and the mental can cause you to do things that you wouldn't want to do
Yeah.
because of money. So teaching children the importance of that is all part of the whole person.
Yeah.
In my profession, I am focused on the totality of the individual,
Yeah.
not just this, because I recognize that it's the totality of the individual that keeps the person in health and wellness, preventative and proactive, and managing that. It balances that because stress plays a tremendous role in your physical health.
Yeah.
So when you can manage that by being healthy and having self-love and taking care of yourself and being financially stable, it's important. So let's start the children early.
Yeah, yeah. Here's a call for you, and I think this may be the only call we can take. Welcome, caller.
Yes, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. You're a blessing. Many years ago, a young man, the president, with a slogan, ask not your country can do for you. Ask what you can do.
You're not clear. Unfortunately, caller, you're not clear at all. Is something we could do to make that better, JC? I don't know.
No, it's a phone network.
Yeah.
This one.
All right, we'll try again, sir. We'll try here. It's just not coming across to me. Go ahead again, caller. You must have gone. All right. Unfortunately, it just wasn't clear.
Yeah, I couldn't understand.
Can't answer a
either,
question
yeah.
if you don't hear the question. As we're getting close now,
Yes.
Nurse Jackson, I would like you to look at the wholeness of us physically now. It's important for us to be financially
Yes.
stable, but we
Yes.
also need to ease back. All right. Welcome again, caller.
Yes, good morning.
All right.
Are you hearing me better
Yeah,
now?
you're much clearer now, sir.
I was saying good morning to the nurse and welcome to Belize.
Oh, thank you. Good morning.
Many years ago, a young man running for president, John F. Kennedy, came up with a slogan, ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country.
Yes.
And I can see that you took that concept to another level.
Yes.
You not only helping out in your country, you're also going outside of the box to other countries to help.
Yes.
And you're really a blessing.
Thank you so much. It is truly.
You're really a blessing. Keep on doing what you're doing. With God's will and strength, you will succeed.
Thank you so much.
Thank
God
you for
bless
coming to
that.
Belize and doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you, caller.
Goodbye.
Great call. Goodbye, sir. I want. We only have a few minutes left, so I want to talk about specifically now the physical aspect,
Yes.
the wellness.
Absolutely.
You pointed out that the majority of people, and we've known this, we've heard it, the
Absolutely.
majority of people who died during this COVID
Absolutely.
was because they had comorbidity, meaning
Exactly.
your body never in a good shape.
Exactly. You
All right.
had conditions, pre-existing conditions
Yes.
there. Examples: diabetes, hypertension,
Yeah.
underlining conditions.
But
that
conditions
make you
out of control.
Absolutely.
Right.
Out of control is
Yeah,
the key.
right.
So in this wellness journal here, and I left one for you, one of the things that I've done, and I don't know if the audience can see it, I developed something called Daily Wellness Goals. And there's a guide here that talks about dietary goals,
Yeah.
physical activity goals, here practicing self-care to deal with the physical aspects as well as the mental aspects on a daily basis. And it starts with first, what are you grateful for today? Because I think when you get up, we have to have an attitude, regardless to where we come from, what our circumstances is, to be grateful. As long as you rose up, it's something to be grateful for.
Yeah, indeed.
And in top of that, what are your self-care goals today? Making yourself a priority. And then talk about the physical, reminder icons about physical exercise, diet, taking time for yourself, doing things that you need to do to stay healthy or check yourself to get more in control. There's so many, and I know we're running out of time, but many people have diabetes that don't check their blood sugars to know how to manage themselves healthy until they go to the doctor and it's out of control. Same thing with blood pressure. It is important that if you have those two, I'm just going to focus on those two as we're closing off this segment, that you check daily and understand your parameters, because if those numbers are healthy, then you are managing other symptoms or conditions from preventing issues to happen in your body. When they're not, you need to get adjustments or do different things such as change your diet, lose weight, manage your medicine. Medicines may need to be adjusted because it causes another thing to happen. If diabetes is out of control, guess what? You can have kidney failure. If your blood pressure is out of control, you're high risk for a stroke or a heart attack or kidney failure. But if you manage those and they're well controlled and you manage your diet, manage your stress, you can continue to live your life without limits.
I don't know if we need more motivation than that, Nurse Jackson.
Thank you so much for having me
I can
on the
feel
show.
I can feel it from your very spirit that and the caller really expressed what I think many of us feel.
It's in my soul
You're a blessing.
to help people.
Yeah, yeah.
And I know it. And the Bible said your gift, and I want to talk to every viewer out there as I end this show. Your gift, whatever it is, the Bible said will make room for you and bring you before great men. Don't be discouraged because the best is still yet to come.
Yes. Well, I love the power of this woman's voice. You got me there, Sister Shannon. We appreciate very much. And I'll tell you something. We need some talking to. And I can feel the strength in your voice. And I'm sure all these students that you'll be talking with today.
So excited.
Yeah, yeah, and they will be motivated. And I think they will be even more motivated by the fact that you are not just talk, but you will actually give them a way to improve their future by taking this $50 and tell them, when I come back next year, I want to see this doubled and tripled and quadrupled.
Absolutely. And for everybody that do that, I'm going to challenge them and I'm going to give them more.
That's right.
That's how I roll.
That's right. Yeah. Which is following the story in the Bible, because
Exactly.
the ones that got the talents that buried it,
Exactly.
they didn't get anything. But the one
Absolutely.
that went and spent it, the Father
Yes.
said, I'm pleased with that.
That's right.
So I'm going
That's
to give
right.
you more.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm doing nothing but paying it forward.
All right. That's great. That's great. All right. Thank you very much,
All right. Thank you.
Nurse
too.
Shannon Jackson. And we
The
will,
people's nurse.
the people's nurse.
So now you see how the title
I
comes
got
about.
it. That's right. That's right. A lot of love. A lot of love. All right, sister, we'll take our final break and we'll come back. Brother David, you don't got nothing to say other than David is there? No. All right, he must have gone. All right. Thank you very much, the people's nurse. We
Yes.
appreciate your being with us this morning.
All right.
And-
My pleasure. Thank you for
And
having
all
me.
that effervescent like one alcohol.